We're on.
I wanted to show you some things about the drafts I'm working on now. And you saw the volume 1 and the dust jacket with this cover. And this is Jurine's copepod from 1820. This is a microscope, compound microscope from about 1800. And there's our title. And I didn't want to say cabinet Roman numeral 1 because that's very presumptuous. But I thought for the second volume, which I have the draft of now, I wanted to say with the same type of lettering, cabinet 2, which it won't be part of the official title, but if a person's reaching for the volume, that they'll see that by the dust jacket, this is cabinet 2. And so I thought, why not have a binocular microscope? And so here's the microscope from the 1850s, which is halfway through the period that this volume will cover. And obviously, given that there's a 2, there's going to be a 3, which I'm working on now. And there were such things as trinocular microscopes. So I thought I should find a period trinocular from about 1890. And all the trinoculars I've seen are basically binocular microscopes. And then there's a single tube coming up in the back for a second observer or for
Camera lucida.
A photo camera.
Photo camera.
And so I started looking for that. And then a friend of mine, a correspondent in Belgium, who's a historian of microscopes, he came up with this really neat trinocular, which is of a pattern that I never even knew existed. But there's no question about it. It's a trinocular, 3 tubes, and it's from 1890. So 3 and 3. And maybe I'm the only one that thinks that's neat, but I think it's neat. And people have asked me, Rafa looked at that and he said, well, how in the world do you put them together to make a binocular and then look at the other? And no, that's the way it's used. And I said, what we need is to try to get an illustration of this thing in use. And where in the world are we going to find an illustration of almost one of a kind? It's a French Nachet, and it was in their catalog. This is an example from a collection at the University of Edinburgh, but the microscope is French. And my friend in Belgium, he said, well, I'm a collector of Nachet catalogs, and here in the catalog is this nice illustration of the microscope in use. So you've got these 3 guys looking around the microscope. I'd like to use this on the back of the dust jacket for volume 3, so there'd be no question about what we're thinking about. So that by way of introduction, and we left off in our last session